Tanya. This is a continuation of my series, 7 cards for 7 days, and we are on July 11th today, Monday, and I hope wherever you are, when you see this, it helps you in some way to navigate the energies of this week coming up. Our first card for the day, today, Monday, is the Four of Swords. I'll move that in a little closer for you. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. You can see a figure who is reclined. It almost looks like on a coffin. And the swords are hanging on the wall, 3 of them, and then one beside him or her. And this card is, to me, truce, which can be an agreement met, completed. It can also be a retreat, a contemplation inwardly. It can even be illness for some people, but I don't think that's what it is here for us, for our collective reading. It feels to me that it is definitely stepping back for a moment, looking at things, letting the dust settle so you can see more clearly. And the 4's earth number, getting that sense of stability and groundedness. Kind of he's in a reclined pose, so reclining, stilling, containing the mind possibly, so that clarity can come on through. For Tuesday, we have the 10 of Wands. Again, I'm using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and we see this person kind of stooped and obviously overburdened. I've been thinking about that concept a lot. There's a concept from a Native American, a Seneca elder, the idea of the burden basket. This was particularly pertaining to women, but I think it can pertain to all of us. Are we taking on too much? Have we expended so much energy that we're burnt out on something? It can be the end of an energy cycle. 10s are a kind of completion. And, the wands, the instincts, what we sort of instinctively feel. And maybe even the cords that connect us to other people, in terms of energy. Do we need to stop Tuesday and, reevaluate those? We're coming up to that full moon in Capricorn, the 13th, I believe. And maybe that's a good moment to stop and, like I said, assess those or reassess those energy connections where you're putting yourself out there and feeling if that's good for you or not. Well, when we get to Wednesday and we get to that full moon in Capricorn, we get the Devil. And, just looking ahead, we have several more majors through this week. So there's some big energy themes going on. When I see the Devil, I think of William Blake. And he was a romantic poet, an English romantic poet. And I used to teach poetry, so he was a favorite of mine, or is a favorite. And he made a distinction between Satan and the devil. Satan he didn't like. He thought that was a more religious construct, more used to control people and so forth. Whereas, the devil had more of a connection to the old Greek god Pan, a more playful energy, a sexual energy, a passion and creativity energy. So it's, kind of hard to say how that might pertain to any one of us. What will that full moon in Capricorn bring? Seeing our bedevilments, those areas that are tricky for us, where we get hung up, maybe get angry. Saturn rules Capricorn, and, Saturn to me has some connection here to this playful, devilish energy, and then also that heaviness that can come on the darker side of it. So could be a good day to, bask in that full moon energy and try to feel the playfulness of it, the joy of it, the creative passion of it. And, if there are places where you feel bedeviled, laugh. And, try to, again, maybe extricate yourself from situations that no longer serve you, which the day before, Tuesday with the Ten of Wands, also supports. When we get to Thursday, we have another Wands, and this time it is the King. So there he is on his throne. He is not known for his restraint. He can use his energy wisely because he's a king, so there's some mastery there. But it can also be, again, super passionate, pursuing, very creative, very driven, instinctual. In this wonderful book I have that talks about the Thoth deck, it's written by a couple of German guys, and they describe this king as wanting, a queen that he can be passionate with and admire, but also control in a sense. So, that's a little bit of the darker side, but it can be a great use of your energy and listening to your instinct once we kind of get past that full moon and release maybe some of those bedevilments. By Friday, we have the Hanged Man. I like to read this card as someone who is trying to become more spiritual on a daily basis. To orient your feet in heaven is one way, or in the world of spirit is one way I've heard this card described. So that your head is near the earth, as you can see with this figure, and it also relates to going upside down, changing the blood flow. We literally see things differently upside down. Lots of health benefits, supposedly. Doing headstands, suspensions, things like this, inversions, and I certainly believe in those, the benefits. So how do we change our perspective? That seems to be like the building theme this week. Go inward Monday. Tuesday, look at those burdens that we've been carrying. Wednesday, really get a full, picture from a major card on those, supported by that strong full moon in Capricorn, business, getting things done, being serious, having a solid structure, a good foundation. And then moving into that strong use of energy through the King of Wands, the instinct, passion, creativity perhaps, and then coming to another pause and saying, am I living with integrity for me? Am I on the right path for me? Am I oriented in a way where it's not about my ego necessarily? It is more about my higher perspective, higher self, higher calling on the planet in this lifetime. On Saturday, we get another major, so this makes the third one for the week, and this time we have Justice. So Justice, I should have mentioned the numbers. The Devil is 15 in the deck, and that reduces to a 6, which also connects to the Lover's card. So that's where that very passionate, playful part can come in. And then when you get the Hangman, that's a 12, which connects to 3, the Empress. So in this one, the 11 also connects to the 2, which is the High Priestess. And another time I'll teach you how to learn your own card. You might have one card for this lifetime, you might have 2. Very rarely people will have 3. If you have 2, it's your soul and personality. And if you have 1, well, soul and personality archetypes are the same. That's the same archetype for you. Justice. She sits there with her big sword of truth in one hand and her scales in the other hand. And to me, I see it's like, can we live in our truth and balance our needs with the needs of others, those that we have genuine responsibility to, those we have made agreements with, that we are conscious of, our responsibility to perhaps our children, our families, our friends, our professions, our work, whatever it might be, but always balancing the need to care for, to love, to nurture the self as well. And I truly believe that that's the way that we have to do it, to be good to ourselves first, and then we can learn to be good to those around us in a very genuine way that does not deplete us, does not leave us feeling resentful, like we've been taken advantage of, even though we've been the ones giving out the energy. There can be a lot of hidden processes with that. In a larger collective sense, perhaps we see some justice happen. We see people we know or at least perceive to have committed injustices upon society, upon others, individuals, and that, some justice starts to show for people who do not follow the light, who do not believe in the free will of others, but use manipulation and coercion to get what they want or think they want. We end on a beautiful note on next Sunday, which is great. And this is the 10 of discs, again, connected to Earth, to stability, to getting practical things done. And this is the happy, solid home, like the 10 of Cups relates to the emotionally happy home. This might be the well-organized home. I tend to associate happiness with it too, like, oh, this feels good, this is solid and stable, I can rely on myself, I can rely on the people who share, domesticity with me. Just a really nice culmination of starting with the Ace of Discs, going through that sequence, and then ending the journey home. We might also think of the spiritual home. I do believe that, the real home is within us. It's a sacred space. But at the same time, there's a nice outward reflection of that. And it doesn't matter what it means to anybody else. What does it mean to you and those in your sphere that you might share that home with? You might be happy in a tiny house. You might be happy in something, very remote, or something crowded, or what I would perceive as crowded, and much more, connected to other people. Doesn't matter. It matters what you choose and what feels good to you. I think that, with the Earth cards, the Pentacles, the discs, whatever you call them, there is a different kind of a feeling vibration, and it is cellular. So, but we can tap into that. And I encourage us to do that. I mean, I also teach yoga, and I'm very much about finding yourself within your body. That's where we truly have our power, can find our comfort and well-being. So home connects to that for me. So all in all then, we have one sword for the week. So we start off in that mental space of contemplation. And then Tuesday, tomorrow, moving into the energy and instinct of the fire, the wands or rods. And that sense of maybe having done too much, having taken on too much, and can you find a way to unburden somewhat? And, transform, because after the 10, we begin all over again. And then Wednesday, that day of the full moon, the devil, and are you bedeviled? Are you laughing? How are you going to use that energy that day? And then getting to Thursday, the King of Wands. Maybe you got some really good downloads from that full moon and some kind of course of action that you might act on that's very passionate and important to you. And then another day of holding back with the hangman on Friday, contemplating, looking to see if you feel centered on your highest path. And then Saturday, looking for justice, for a balancing in some significant way because it's a major. And then finding yourself rooted in home by next Sunday. I hope this helps, as I said before, and please consider liking, sharing, subscribing if this speaks to you. All of us who are out here reading, doing psychic and mediumship work are all trying to help. And one of my favorite psychics, Kim Carey, put it this way: it's all hands on deck. And one of the reasons is because, we all are magnetic, and we all resonate in different ways and magnetize the people who need what we have to offer to us, at least eventually. So if you're interested in a private reading, please contact me. My information is under this video, and then my website is also listed at the end of this. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best.